Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to discuss about Saturn, okay, Shani in the first house of a native, like in the ascendant, and what happens when Shani is in the first house. So first thing we have to understand what is Shani, what is Saturn. So Saturn is all about your karma. It is all about your karma phal, and you know how much whatever you do in your life, whether you are in job or in business, or whether you are into social service, doing charity donation, every deeds whatever you are doing, only one planet is keeping everything in account, that is Saturn, Shani. Now what is first house? Very interesting. What is first house? First house is like you self, your physical body, your thinking capacity, your ability to process the scenario, the situations, right? So So whenever Saturn is in the first house, right, the very first thing what it comes to any expert's mind or any astrologer's mind, that yes, this person is definitely is a hardworking person. Definitely, Saturn in the first house will make the person very hardworking, very disciplined, and a law-abiding citizen. We are talking mainly on the positive notes, like let's say Saturn in the first house, it is in a very positive situation or position. So what results we can expect? So this particular natives, no, they have a very good judgment power of the situation of the people as well, and they're very much alert in their mind. Before something bad is happening, right, they can assess that. Their sixth sense is so good that even this particular combination, right, can make them a very good astrologer or occultist. Now there's one more thing. This particular Saturn in the first house, right, it it's definitely making the people hardworking, ethical, you know judgment power, everything is fine. But along with that, there's one more quality they give. It's like to keep doing the same work for for a very long time, for a very long tenure, let's say. If there is any work which is needed to be done in a repetitive manner, this particular people can do much more, or let's say they can give much more better results in that. Their consistency is their uh, key attribute. So that is the best power, or that is the best attribute of Saturn in the first house. Now, in terms of their career, yes, they can get early setbacks in their career. Their career always starts in a very slower note, or they can start their career in a organization which is not so big. Maybe in a smaller organization they will start their career, and they're by learning and learning and learning, they will grow in their career path. But these people are one of the fantastic managers, in my opinion. That's what I have seen for last so many years, okay, through my studies. That Saturn in the first house, they can become a fantastic manager in whichever domain it is. Not necessary it has to be a IT manager. It can be a kind of a manager who is managing a factory, managing the labors. They can do wonder in that, and people will listen to them. Now the one more good thing is, Saturn in the first house, actually they don't, I mean, this is the position where Saturn doesn't uh, you know it is always stays with a ground reality. This person doesn't like talking about fancy stuffs, like uh, you know to be very honest with you guys, they don't talk even in a romantic manner. That is what they lack. It's not It's not even lacking, it's their personality. Okay, if they even try to be romantic, it looks very worse because they are not doing it from their heart. They're just doing it just to impress their partner. That is actually a drawback, but it is their character. But the good part of being Saturn in the first house is they will definitely get a very loyal partner. Their married life is actually a faithful marriage life. Very loyal partner they will get, and they are also very loyal to their partner. And once they get married, this Saturn in the first house people, once they get married, then only they show their, that the childish things, the innocence, only they represent or they showcase in front of their spouse. They cannot do that in front of any other relatives. Even let's say they are in a relationship, or even in front of their girlfriend or boyfriend, they cannot do that. Even if they are doing it, they are faking it. They are doing it because of peer pressure. They are doing it because maybe the other friends are doing with their partners. But once they get married, once they are into a committed legal relationship, to be honest, their actual innocence, their actual childlike behavior will come in front of their spouse only. Because Saturn in the first house, it is aspecting your seventh. Only your spouse will understand that, okay, even after having so much of maturity, there is an innocence left in that particular person. So that's the beauty of Saturn in the first house. It gives long lasting married life, it gives a very faithful marriage and a very loyal partner. And most of the time, we have seen they are blessed with kids also. And the moment kids come into their life, they will start cherishing the life. The struggle, the obstacles, the setbacks, whatever they have faced in their life, right? Everything will be faded. And they can get the, you know, I mean, the most colorful journey of their life once they are becoming parent. That's the beauty of Saturn in the first house. Also, in this position, they can, can do business. If let's say, if we talk about a career path, like what kind of career path they should choose, definitely IT is a very common for Saturn in the first house. They can do wonder in the IT, but yes, slow growth, very slow growth. And they can do wonder if they are into law enforcement. They can become a judge, barrister, whatever. Okay, in that particular domain, if they want, they can become a fantastic, lawyer. They can do wonder in real estate. They can become a fantastic architect as well. They can do a fantastic design of a house if the other planets are supporting, considering the 10th house, 10th lord. Definitely those things matters, but in general I'm telling, okay, even if they're into oil, machineries, gas, minerals, in that kind of industries, right? Coal, or any energy industry, whether it's solar panel or solar energy, wind energy, conventional, unconventional, whatever it is, any energy sources, right? They can do wonder. That is one thing. Now, what kind of position they can have? They will definitely see. Maybe in the beginning, you guys may feel, no, it's not going good. It's a lot of struggle. Not getting energy to go for work. Not getting energy to go for, you know, to my office. Things happened because Saturn in the first house, it always test you. It always give you, you know, it will always make sure that you are always giving exams in the life. So one thing you have to do, wake up and do your job. That is the most important thing. Whether you like it or not, you do it. If it is your earning source, only earning source, do it. Okay. But these guys, once they understand the game, they understand the game a bit late, a bit later period of time, until unless they cross 38, 40 years of age, right? They don't understand the game itself. Okay. And once they understand, like, okay, what needs to be done, how needs to be done, only hard work is not sufficient. Maybe I need to, talk a bit more diplomatically, not in a straightforward manner, because Saturn in the first, it is aspecting their third, right? So very straightforward communication. But to be very honest, in this world, if you are very straightforward in your communication, people may not like you, right? Even telling something is bad itself is, I mean, we can always tell in a different manner so that the other people don't get hurt. So this type of understanding, right? Like how to say no and how to say bad things bad without hurting the others. This particular game I'm talking about, and it takes almost 38 to 40 years of age for Saturn in the first house natives. And once they learn it, they understand the game, they become the master of that skill, and from there the rise will start. And from there the rise will start. And that rise will be unshakable. See, you have to understand, whenever I say rise, right, it doesn't mean that, oh, okay, now I understood, so I'll become a CEO or I'll become an MD. It's not like that. You might start your own store, you might start your own business. Saturn is always like, you know, I will do something which I love and where I can have my own identity and freedom. And if you feel that yes, being a CEO, being an MD or vice president, I'm having the freedom, that's fine. But those roles or those position doesn't mean that you are successful. Okay. Or let's say those are not the position where the success get measured. Okay. A person who is having his own shop might be having more peace, might be having more freedom in their life, right? So it's very simple thing, a very simple thing. It's not so complicated. So the thing is, after 38 or 40 years of age, they get the flavor of life. That is very important. Whether I should be in the job or I should be in a something where I love to do. So that is the thing which takes a lot of time for them to understand. Because see, understanding, when it will happen, when you will learn through experiences. The Saturn in the first house, Saturn here, they love to give experiences to that native, so that at a later period of time, after 40, 42 years of age, he or she should not make any mistakes, because now he knows or she knows all the situations or negative situations of life. That person is aware of those situations, and he or she knows now how to handle all those situations, how to overcome from those situations. And that is the reason, after 38 or 40 years of age, Saturn in the first house people, they suddenly see the rise in their career or in their life, in whichever profession they are into or whichever profession they would like to switch. Okay. They can become a very good businessman, but one thing they have to be very careful, they should avoid business in partnership. Okay. Why? Because Saturn is being a very ethical person, right? It's very difficult to get a ethical partner sometime, I mean business partner. So there they have to be a bit careful and do all these legal works carefully. Then maybe some things maybe we can expect some better results. Otherwise, try to avoid as much as possible the partnership business. Now, one more last thing about Saturn in the first house, in terms of remedies. In terms of remedies, I would always suggest that, without, I mean, let's say people might go for amethyst or go for blue sapphire, or donate oil or light a diya in front of Shani Maharaj, in Shani temple. Things are fine, those things are okay. but the main thing which you have to do is do your work with full of ethics. Try to avoid any shortcuts. Saturn doesn't like any shortcuts in whichever house it is. Saturn doesn't like any shortcuts, and this Saturn in the first house people, right? What I have seen, they are very hardworking, disciplined. They are in very good in process and protocol. Everything is fine. But when it comes to into their own health, right? They are very ignorant. They don't. They always tell, I don't have time to look after myself. I don't have time to look after, my own body, my own health. Don't do that. See, Saturn is in the first house means the first disciplined area should be your own health. Once you start taking care of your own health, automatically Saturn will start giving you the good results. At least it will stop giving you more trouble. It will give you trouble, but it will be in a lesser quantity. Okay, or maybe the adversity will be less. So take care of your health. That is the one important remedy. Don't ignore medicines. Don't ignore doctor's advice. And Saturn in the first house, I always suggest, if you have any kind of concern in your body, in your physical health, always go for two opinions or three opinions. That actually helps to diagnose the actual problem what you are facing. Okay, and don't be irregular with your medicine intake. Don't be irregular with your diet. That is one more big concern for the Saturn in the first house. They are so much workaholic that they avoid, they even skip their breakfast, skip their lunch, skip their dinner. Don't, they are not maintaining any proper time of having diet. So think about all those things. Okay, these are very important. To stay proactive, productive, you have to be physically fit. So Saturn demands that you should stay physically fit. That's why it is in your first house. And wherever Saturn sits, that means you have not given much more attention in that house in your previous birth. That's why it is in this house in your current lifetime, and you have to give an extra focus, extra attention in that particular house. Okay. And remedy wise, yes, what I was telling, it depends on your overall chart whether we can go for a blue sapphire or amethyst or not. That depends, but otherwise, definitely you can, to keep Saturn, in your favor, you can chant Hanuman Chalisa. You can listen to, you know Hanuman Chalisa every day or at least on Saturday. Donation is one of the finest remedy, I would say. Donate to the needy people in whichever form you want, in whichever way you want. Okay, how much, whatever you can afford, you just donate. Saturn prefers donation as a remedy. And mainly anyadan means, donating rice or any food items and all those things. You can donate. Try to avoid alcohol on Saturday. That is one of the finest remedy, I would say. I cannot say you stop alcohol and all. It's totally on your personal choice and personal, wish. But the thing is, if you are consuming alcohol, make sure Saturday you should try to avoid. Okay, that is one thing. And one more fine remedy for Saturn in the first house native is, donate black clothes. Okay, or blue clothes. Even if it is a small, in a size like a uh, how to say, like normal. Even if you go to any shop where you'll get the puja items, right? You can just ask, give me a black cloth or blue cloth, they will give. So where you can donate it to the any temple. That's it. You can go to, if you have any nearby Shani temple, you can go and donate there. Okay, you can do that. And that's it. These are the basic remedies you can follow, and these are the remedies, mainly the donation part. And the diya, light a diya. Definitely you can light a diya using mustard oil. uh, you know in front of Bajrangbali also, it's fine. You don't need to visit Shani temple every time, but if you're visiting, definitely you can light a diya over there. And donate to the needy people, poor people, whoever is in need. Okay, based on your affordability, you can donate. That is actually the ultimate remedy for Saturn in the first house, or overall Saturn remedy, I would say. Okay. And just because you have Saturn in the first house, or you feel that Saturn is giving you trouble, don't go to purchase a gemstone like amethyst or blue sapphire. That can actually give you a bit wrong results. Okay. So before you are wearing any gemstones, so first of all, do not Google it. Do not look into in any websites. Okay, I have in this and I want to uh, okay, it's telling that it's saying that to wear a blue sapphire or amethyst. Just without taking any proper consultation, don't wear any gemstone. That is one you know one advice I would like to give you all. Okay. So otherwise, Saturn in the first house, it's definitely a kind of a position where Saturn loves to give lot of success. But yes, you have to be very very patient. Okay, you have to keep rolling. Okay, you have to keep rolling the balls. Okay, then only once. The thing is, here you cannot give up. That is the most important thing. Here you cannot give up, and Saturn will make sure that you are not giving up. That is the best part. Okay. So thanks everyone. Thanks for being with me and viewing my contents, my videos, my shorts, and liking them. And definitely, it's giving me a lot of good vibes. So keep supporting me, and thank you.